Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to, I thought I'd do something that was more related to being in our bodies. How are we embodying spirit? So I wanted to start off with the chakra cards here. Let's see where spirit is trying to lead us in our bodies. Okay, Spirit, where should we focus on in our bodies? Where should we focus? Where should we be? Let's do a reading about the chakra, the part of the body that we should be maybe focusing on. So we've got Leo, Sun is in Leo right now. We're on Earth. What is it that we need to align with? Thank you, Spirit. Okay, let's see. All right, we've got several cards out here, several spots to focus on. We've got heart chakra stones. We've got throat chakra and throat chakra. So we might be focusing a lot on the upper area of our bodies, the heart chakra. The chakra is predominantly associated with pink and green stones. Rose quartz can be used to open and heal the heart chakra. The stone also aids sleep, calms emotions, and removes negativity. Excuse me, as my throat is dry. Jade is also useful to promote emotional and physical well-being. Green calcite is useful to absorb negativity and boost physical immunity. Now we've also got these throat chakras. So we're concentrating on both the heart and the throat here. Throat chakra yoga poses. Yoga poses which help release tension and bring energy to the throat and thyroid include camel, plow, cat-cow with lion's breath, shoulder stand, and fish pose. So if you have the capacity and capability, you might want to focus on those yoga poses. There's also some essential oils that would be helpful for the throat. Aromatherapy can be used to tap into the self. To open the chakra, use scents like frankincense, sage, peppermint, and eucalyptus. Do I have eucalyptus? No, I have lavender and patchouli over here by my desk. So it looks like what we're concentrating on is really speaking from the heart here. We're speaking from the heart. We're using our heart chakra to feel into our body, to open up and really talk about our emotions and our physical well-being. And the stronger the throat chakra is, the better that we can communicate our feelings and we can communicate how we feel, not just in our bodies, but in our emotions. We can better identify and quickly identify how we're feeling and feeling in our bodies. So let's go ahead and pull some tarot on this. You know what? Let's go with, I'm just going to go ahead and use the, here we go. The body tarot. Okay. Now this reading, I want to make sure that I put the disclaimer here that even though I'm doing tarot and oracle reading for the body, this is not meant to bypass any medical or legal advice. This is anything that comes with this reading is of your own free will, but it really is just a way to tie into, embody the spirituality, the nature of the messages that are coming forward. So let's see what the heart wants to speak about. All right, Spirit, what does the heart want to speak about? We've got the 5 of wood. There's some pettiness here. And I read these cards in the upright, so please don't at me. These specific cards I read in the upright. We've also got 3 of fire and the 4 of earth came out. So adventure and greed. Okay. And then, we've got 2 cards actually. Make sure you can see all of those. Then we've got Two of Earth and the Eight of Fire. At the bottom of the deck, we have the lungs. Neat. Okay, put those to the side there. Let's talk about what the heart wants to talk about. What is it that we're trying to convey here in our bodies? So we've got the Five of Wood, pettiness. Now, this is coming from what looks to be our, I think that's our liver and our bladder. No, our kidney, no, liver and bladder. Yes. Five of Wood. This particular deck I also use the book on, so because there's an additional element has been kind of broken off into two. So let's look at what the Five of Wood translates to. Five of Wood, pettiness, struggle, and conflict. Avoid office politics and getting drawn into the petty struggles of others. You have a bigger picture in mind, and if others cannot see what you are aiming for, then your best bet is to do your own thing as far as you are able to. Removing yourself from those who are petty will always serve you best in the long run. In extreme circumstances, it may even be time to look for another job in order to find a better fit for your values. Now, pettiness. I kind of see this as there is something, what I'm actually sensing with this Five of Wood is that either someone is viewing you as petty, or you're finally kind of encompassing a situation and seeing it as, you know what? I'm like it says, I'm involving myself into something that is just supremely petty. And I see the futility of it, and I also see like the small hamster wheelness of it too, where it's just, you know, if you join this person in their petty, you know, revolution around the wheel, you know, you're just as stuck as they are. So it's time to get off of this repetitive cycle, out of this repetitive cycle, and move away, right, into something else. Now, the next two came out together. We've got the Three of Fire, which is adventure, and the Four of Earth, which is greed. There's something here where I think someone looks at you, you finally chosen, okay, what I'm feeling, I'm just going to go after what, you know, what my heart wants. And what the heart wants, you know, typically it starts off, you know, any kind of new change or new thing, there's this idea of it being an adventure, something, you know, we have to kind of steel ourselves to go into. And so, and not only that, if we look at this card, this is look, and so I'm also looking at the colors of the card here. So we've got the Five of Wood, which is the color green, which is also the same color associated with the heart chakra. So whatever is going on here is actually, it is emotionally hurting your heart. It is bringing you some sort of heartache, I think. And it's time to get back into your root chakra, go back down into your root chakra, find what it is that brings you joy and adventure, and bring that back up into the heart by way of greed. And I say this, what I have been sensing in the atmosphere is this, you know, and it's Leo season 2. Sometimes when we put ourselves first, people say, well, you're being selfish and greedy, you know, but I think there's a difference between being selfish and greedy for purposes of putting other people down, and being selfish and greedy for purposes of pulling your power back in to you. Like, there's this thing, this saying, because I just believe, you know, once I get into the frame of mind where I believe, you know, all words are spells. Anything that comes out of your mouth is a spell. and it can become a manifestation if you understand how powerful you are, right? And so when you get into this space of knowing, and saying, I call back all my power. I call back every place where I have unknowingly invested into some sort of pettiness or some sort of situation that did not serve me. I call my power back. I call my power back. And so a lot of times when you call your power back, that is really just getting your good, healthy boundaries up, because you're about to go follow your heart. A lot of people see this as greed. And honestly, this could be the shadow of the solar plexus chakra. And this is also where our stomach is and our kidney is. So if you're having maybe stomach issues or kidney issues, there could be some sort of issue there of being scared to put your foot down for you, right? Being, don't be scared to have your boundaries. Don't be worried about other people's reactions when you enforce your personal boundaries, because boundaries are not meant to control other people. They're actually meant to help you bring your best self forward so you can be your best self in any situation. And you can also have loving relationships. Good boundaries, right? Good boundaries, good healthy boundaries are not only good for you, they're good for the other person as well. And if someone doesn't recognize that, they're probably trying to manipulate you. Okay? So that's what I say there. There's something here where you need to get back into that sense of, go back into your root chakra, go back into what lights you on fire, go back into that sense of adventure and pull it back up. And once you pull it back up, you're probably going to run into, as you're working through this process, someone is going to probably tell you that you're selfish or you're greedy, or you're probably going to feel it. Like it's also possible no one will ever tell you this. You'll just feel like, oh, am I being greedy? Am I being selfish? No, you are not. Because if given the same situation, another person would do the same thing, right? You have to look out for yourself and your passions and your heart and everything and be aligned with it, okay? All right. Lastly, we have the Two of Earth and the Eight of Fire, and I love these cards here. The Two of Earth is, again, it's almost as if you've gone through this process of looking at am I greedy, or even processing, am I being greedy? Am I being selfish? And it looks as if you've gotten past that. And it's like there's now becoming kind of this back and forth between the solar plexus and the root chakra. So you send the message back to your root chakra. Okay, this is fun. This is me empowering myself. My fun is my confidence. My fun, if you feel like you're having fun, that is evidence that you are living in alignment, right? That is evidence that you are living in alignment if you're having fun. And so now you're sending the message back to your root chakra. I am taking action. And that is exactly what the root chakra wants you to do. Take action. Now, at the bottom of the deck, and not only that, take action. And then up here, once you look with the heart chakra and the throat chakra, I think what's happening is once you understand your boundaries and start speaking them out, telling, sharing and saying the words that are keeping you in alignment, all of the stuff that's keeping you in alignment starts coming up through your throat, and you start to speak your truth, right? Now, at the bottom of the deck, we have the lungs. This is also, this is commensurate with the Hermit card in the traditional tarot. The lungs, right? The lungs and the throat. Breathing in what brings you alive, breathing it up, right? From the root chakra. all the way up to the throat and being able to speak it. But we need the breath here. We need the breath in this situation. So let's go ahead and read about the hermit. And the hermit is typically about solitude. Sometimes you will find when you go through these processes of being of finding alignment with yourself, you're risking solitude. And I think that's actually the part, maybe I should talk about that a little bit more. You're risking solitude. It is risky, but it's also risky to hold your breath, waiting for someone else to do something for you, right? It's risky to hold your breath, waiting for someone to support you. It's risky to hold your breath, because holding your breath, waiting for someone else to take action only harms you, and it keeps you away from being able to speak up for yourself. It keeps your heart not being able to receive blood, and it keeps your throat. You can't speak if you don't have any air in your lungs, right? Take a deep breath right now and feel how powerful it is when you take that deep breath and your shoulders go back and your whole chest opens up and you sit up taller. Just breathing makes you confident, right? But that's what's necessary here. You have to breathe. You have to have this. And I feel the main message here is that you are scared that when, like anybody else would be, when you put up your boundaries, people will leave you alone. And a lot of people are terrified of being left alone, terrified of solitude. It is time to get comfortable with yourself so that you can speak about yourself the way that you should be spoken about, right? So you can speak about your alignment, you can speak about your boundaries, you can speak about yourself with love versus waiting in this kind of like a small bubble, right? Okay. So I'm just going to read about the lungs. Let's see what the lungs are saying here. And it's interesting too, it's the 9 card here, the lungs. You're speaking your truth, ultimately. And a 9 to me is a card of self-alignment, right? This is self-alignment with kind of like a waiting to share. But here, this is a journey of the hermit. This is a journey toward action. This is you fulfilling your soul purpose, your soul journey. This is you fulfilling a promise that you have made to spirit. This is you fulfilling your life path. It simply is to be in your body and speak up for yourself and be in alignment with you. And that is not selfish. Okay, I'm talking a whole lot about this. Let's read about the lungs and then we'll get some advice here, some guidance. Keywords: solitude, quiet, pilgrimage. Look at that. Pilgrimage, voyage, journey, adventure, action, fun. Right? Can you feel your lungs? You probably took a deep breath as you read that, but in truth, you cannot really feel your lungs because they are hidden organs, in your torso. However, you would immediately know if your lung capacity was compromised. Breathing is something we do without thinking about it, but if we stop breathing, we die, right? Yeah. In the same way, we rarely think about those small spaces of time when we are alone because we are not consciously aware that we are alone. In some cases, we avoid that solitude by filling it with smartphones or the drone of a TV or radio. We fear the quiet as though we shall learn a terrible secret about ourselves in that solitude. The appearance of this card reminds us that true wisdom lies in seeking the truth, even when it makes us uncomfortable or forces us to have undesirable experiences, such as loneliness or sadness. It is a life skill to learn to sit with unhappiness until it goes away. So many of us believe we are unable to do so, but those who do report back that things are never as final or as awful as we think they are. We have the capacity to heal and be happy again if we only give ourselves the space, silence, and solitude to do so. Lovely. Lovely. I love it. Okay, let's get some guidance here. Guidance for the body. Interesting. Which one should I use? I think I want to use Earthcraft Oracle here. I haven't used this deck in a while, and oh my gosh. I love the artwork here. The artist is just amazing. I love art, period, because especially when you find an artist who shares their process, because then you get to understand, the artist's process. And it's almost like getting to know a little bit of like an ethereal being, even, and then also a being in their body, right? All right, so let's see. Spirit, do you have some guidance here? There's some soul loss. There could be some soul loss here. Can I get one more card? Thank you. And you are sacred. All right. Let's go ahead and read these cards. So we've got soul loss and you are sacred. So there must be something here about the soul loss coinciding with adventure and greed. There might have been some sort of event that kicked off this adventure and this need for you to break free from pettiness. And then with the you are sacred, oh sorry, my alarm is going off. With this you are sacred, it's interesting, my alarm went off just as I started talking about you are sacred, so there must be something resonating here. You must come to this idea that you are sacred, and that kind of this is the bridge between you seeing what you want for your life as greed, and then it turns from greed, a feeling of greediness or selfishness, into fun, because you understand that you are sacred. You are sacred. And there might even be some sort of a loss here, some sort of an event that kind of kicks you into, oh my gosh, it's time for me to live, right? All right, so let's go ahead and read these two cards. 29, soul loss. Yeah, I'm just looking at the first sentence here, and it says soul loss represents powerlessness and a loss of identity. There might even be the need to let go of parts of you that do not serve you moving into adventure and identifying with yourself. That's what I call that. What other people call greed and selfishness, I call identifying with yourself so that you can align with yourself, right? Okay. Soul loss represents powerlessness and a loss of identity. Traumatic events shake us to our core, so much so that the soul is disconnected from the body. Look at that. Look at that. And lost in the confusion as we try to make sense of the chaos. Oh, let me hold up the card while I'm talking about it. It's natural to lose a connection to the truest parts of yourself after trauma. Major events are not the only incidents that can trigger trauma. Small traumas can accumulate to cause the soul to suddenly and unexpectedly sever its tether to the body. To regain your soul, look to the last time you felt unconditional joy. Yes. When's the last time, when I talk about fun being that understanding that you are in alignment? Yes. To regain your soul, look at the last time you felt unconditional joy and existed without outside influence. Seek your inner child, that part of your being that still remembers how to laugh and how to approach the world with curious wonder. Connect to Mother Earth and the simple pleasures of sun on your face and the grass between your toes. Allow yourself to feel inspired and to see the beauty in new adventures and experiences. Notice what feels good or comes naturally to you. Play without any expectations to remind your soul what joy feels like. Replace suffering with the Replace suffering with the process of getting to know yourself again. Find the self meditation journey. Find a place where you can sit or lie down quietly. Close your eyes and calm your mind and body. Take 7 deep breaths, and on the last exhale, hold your breath for 10 seconds. As you gently allow sacred air to enter your lungs, look at that, lungs. As you gently allow sacred air to enter your lungs, envision yourself swirling on a never-ending ocean, glittering and swirling like a galaxy beneath the waves. Feel the lightness of the water carrying your body away. There is no land, just you and the dome of stars in the dark sky. Open your eyes to the darkness, and when you feel ready, sink into the ocean. Beneath the surface of the water, you see stars shining bright, shooting stars and glowing colors swirling above. Go ahead and reach for a star, the brightest of stars. Bring the star into your heart, and as it enters, becoming one with you, shoot up into the dark sky, illuminating the darkness. Feel your spirit in its truest form. Remind yourself of who you are without the pain, the hurt, the experiences that dimmed your star's light. Hold on to this feeling, this power, and when you are ready, open your eyes and find your way back to yourself again. Oh my gosh, how beautiful is that? Pulling a star into your heart. And I think that's just perfect for understanding, getting yourself out of this. I mean, even when I talk about it now, when I talk about something petty, it's like as soon as I say the word petty after I've spoken about that card, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what situation. And even if you don't have a situation, it's this feeling of anything that you've been doing that hasn't been getting you to where soul and spirit are aligned with you to go is petty. It's petty. Okay? All right, let's read this You Are Sacred card. Number 44. Number 44. Okay. You are sacred. Your mind, body, and soul are the perfect trifecta and the only things that are truly in your control and possession in this life. All 3 became your responsibility the moment you were born into this world. Earth Mother has trusted you to honor and nourish your physical being, to learn new things and expand your mind, and to journey inward to connect with your wise and curious soul. It is time to acknowledge and embrace your personal power. You are your most sacred tool, and your mind, body, and soul are the ultimate sacred spaces. Know that your self-worth is not something that has to be earned. It is yours by right, simply because you exist. You are worthy. There is no need to prove your value, and no one can take away your sacredness. You do not need anything or anyone to step into your greatness. Your ability to transform yourself and your life is already present within you. Shine your light, speak your truth, and show the world how strong you truly are. Honoring the self ritual. The ingredients you'll need are a body of water, maybe a bath or a shower, and some white flowers. Honoring the water is honoring the self. Be still with the powers that live within. Sit beside a body of water, a river, lake, ocean, pond, or even a shower or bath. Meditate on the sacred connection between you and the water. When you are ready, walk into the waters and offer her white flowers. That is so beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me for this the body, the self tarot, self-care tarot. I really just like the idea of going into the body and connecting spiritually with the physical parts of us, which can also be done in movement, but sometimes we have to have the message in our head, like the dictionary, I guess, or the reference material in our head in order to connect down into the body. But hopefully, I hope to do some movement and meditations on the channel as well. So I look forward to doing those fairly soon. Thank you so much for joining me, and bye-bye.